Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the Knife Center, and it's our favorite time of the week. Coolest new knives that have just hit our shelves are right on the table in front of me, so let's check them out. All right, starting things off this week, a couple of exclusives to look at. One is technically a restock, but it's been out of stock for a while. The RMJ Tactical Sparrow, coming in at $220. The exclusive bit here is this very cool orange and black G10 handles with some fluting going on. Very holiday October appropriate, wouldn't you say?
Spooky.
Very spooky. Very cool little small companion knife as well. 3.5-inch blade, Nitro V steel. You've got a coating on here, not so much to help with corrosion resistance, but more to, keep things anti-reflective, for lack of a better term there. Keeps the reflections down, the glint off the steel, because, you want to be tactical with your RMJ Tactical, don't you? To me, though, it's a bit more, or the way I would employ this knife would be in a bit more of a kind of an outdoor scenario, typically. It's got a bird and trout style of blade to it, that slender profile, but it's not so, thin in the blade stock or in the grind that I would, primarily want to see this, or I could see myself using this extensively in the kitchen. It's not really a paring knife type of geometry. It's a little bit more robust. So, outdoor use, the hunting stuff is going to work pretty well, but, just whittling by the campfire, small woodwork, small bushcraft stuff, other just companion tasks, you might need a smaller knife to go with your bigger knife as a complement. Lost my the structure of my sentence there in my head, so apologize for that. I think would also make a pretty good option for hiking. Like if it's not exactly ultralight. Don't get me wrong there, but it is not a huge knife. But it carries its weight well. It's got enough strength in the compact size where if you were really in a scrape, you could rely on this. Maybe push it a little harder than its size might otherwise lead you to believe, and see you through to the other side. So I think it's a pretty good option for that. Handle length is about a 3.5. Well, honestly, it's kind of a 3-finger grip for me. Kind of get that 4th finger on that back, but it kind of slips. No lanyard hole here to extend with a fob. However, you probably could take that last bolt out, however. You'd probably still stay pretty secure with just the two. As for the sheath, it is Kydex, as you can see here. Clips in quite nicely. You've got a J-style retention hook here at the back, so if you wanted to use this as an everyday fixed blade, you could easily carry it inside the waistband, make a good last-ditch tactical device in that scenario as well. Don't want to pretend it doesn't have applications there. If you want to carry it another way, let's check the hole spacing on this sheath. It is large Tech-Lock compatible, so even though it's a large piece of hardware to go on a sheath like that, it would allow you to carry it in any number of different orientations or positions, should you wish. The next release is coming out tomorrow, or the day after this video posts on Friday. It is the Jack Wolf Bionic Jack. There are several versions, one of which is this KnifeCenter exclusive version right here. Prices on this batch in general is about $350. This crystallized titanium handle version is $10 more, about $360 right now. But we got a just over 3.25-inch blade of S90V. This one has a horizontal grained satin finish, that kind of hand rubbed styling right there, and the cool crystallized titanium inlays on top of the titanium with integral titanium bolsters right there. Very cool look, very eye-catching. The fluted bolster adds a nice little touch to it as well. This is, however, unlike most Jack Wolf knives, not a slip joint, even though it may kind of have the look of a modern slip joint. This is a frame lock flipper. You've got a milled 3D pocket clip right here, which is quite nice. You've got the bolster style frame lock providing some security in that open position, and you've got a flipper tab and a small double fuller there for engagement as well, for opening as well. Front flipping works very well for me, but you've also got the ability, thanks to that cut in the blade, to do the reverse flick quite easily. You could certainly do a thumb open. Don't even have to pinch it with the opposite finger. Just your thumb is going to catch that quite easily for a one-handed open. So plenty of options right there. And then a nice, clean, kind of classic slip joint style profile when open without the non-lockability of a classic slip joint. That one's cool. I think my favorite of this batch, though, might be this one right here with the liquid gold Kieranite handle scales. I like that a lot. Against the black stonewash of the titanium and the black stonewash blade as well. Very, very cool. It's $10 cheaper too. But you buy the exclusive. Exclusives are cool, right? But yeah, great materials. Full height hollow grind on that S90V means you've got not only a ton of edge retention because of the steel, but because of that geometry, a very thin edge, and geometry behind the edge is nice and thin as well. Just top notch. Very, very cool. Oh yeah, always have to mention the packaging. Comes with the aluminum tube with custom artwork. Comes standard with any new Jack Wolf release is the custom artwork. You've got the rag in here, some stickers, no pocket slip in this case because you do have a pocket clip on the knife, so you don't get the slip that comes with a lot of the slip joints. And of course, can't forget about the pog, right? Got that as well with the custom artwork right there. Now, if you kind of like the Jack Wolf, Jack Wolf ethos, if you will. If you like that, but you don't have the budget for one, the Boker Plus Modern Trapper Uno might be an option for you. It comes in just under $60 right now, and you've similarly got kind of an old school slip joint inspired shape, but modern construction, modern conveniences, locking and flipper tab for one-handed opening on this this trapper style knife here. 3 1/4 inch blade, Nitro V steel. Nice stuff. We've already talked about that. Satin finish, two-tone or bi-directional satin grain. We'll go with that. That works. With is that a hollow or a flat grind? Actually, that's a hollow grind. There you go. On that cool shape, bit of a swedge, convexed swedge on there. Cool shape. Gives it a little bit of character despite the otherwise very thin profile. Micarta inlays, or yeah, we'll go with inlays, with a stainless steel frame with integral bolsters right there. You've got the flipper tab and ball bearings in the pivot, along with that liner lock, providing you with good flipping action as well. Deep carry pocket clip rounds things out, right side carry in this case. Each one of these is actually numbered. That's kind of typical with a lot of these. It's not limited, but this one is number 12. That's cool. I don't know if I've seen a regular production Boker with that low of a numbering on it before. So there you go.
One shy of a baker's dozen.
Right. But it's a cool thing. I think it would work well just as an everyday carry. It's got kind of a humble type of appearance to it, and yet it's a little bit classy. If you wanted to get fancy, you could maybe dye those scales black and make it a little more gentlemanly looking if you want. I don't know. I think it's a cool little knife. Speaking of kind of old school inspirations, how about the Buck 110? It's been around for 60 years at this point. Man, that's crazy. It's crazy to me to think about that, because it means when I started getting into knives, that was like probably 30 years ago. So the Buck 110 was already like an icon and well established at that point. Huh. I'm gonna have to go think about my existence here for a little bit. But anyway, how about a new version right here? Doesn't look too much different than what you might expect, but look a little bit closer. MagnaCut blade steel for one thing. This is coming in at $200 right now. It has the same dimensions as the classic 110, except you've got that excellent MagnaCut steel on the 3 3/4 inch blade. So you've got stain resistance, high edge retention, and excellent toughness as well, all rolled into one pretty fantastic steel. Ebony inlays, brass bolsters. And how do I know it's been 60 years? You've got the plaque there on the back. It's a 60th anniversary limited edition of the Buck 110. This is not going to be around forever with the shield here like this, so get it while you can. This is kind of, at the time when Buck introduced it, was billed as sort of a folding knife that could do the work of a fixed blade. And it definitely has proven to be a very rugged tool over the years. It's not a pocket knife though, no pocket clip, and it is pretty bulky. You do get a leather sheath right here, classic black leather with a snap and a loop to make it easier to carry, or make it carryable in any case. So you can put that blade to work Maybe even better now with that kind of miracle steel we're all still gaga over a few years after its introduction. Check it out, limited edition as mentioned. All right, RoseCraft. Let's keep the vintage aesthetic thing going here for a little bit. This is the Stinking Creek sow belly slip joint. Is that
real? That creek get its name?
Is that really like the name? Wow, okay. There must be a story to the Stinking Creek, because on the face of it, that doesn't seem like it's a very good name.
It's the creek downhill the latrine.
Maybe, ooh, don't drink the Stinking Creek. $80 for this version with stag handles, which is very cool. I don't think we've seen a stag-handled RoseCraft up to this point. I could be very wrong on that fact, but none of them are coming to mind in any case. But here we go, $80 for this one. If you'd rather have a wood-handled version, that's about $62. That comes with black sandalwood and a clover shield on it. This one is shieldless, given the natural material there. Each one is going to be a little bit different, and they don't put a shield on this one. 2.7-inch blade, D2 steel, as is typical for the RoseCraft stuff, giving you more edge retention than most classic styled slip joints like these. And as I've said, every time I pick up a RoseCraft, they're pretty bang on perfect. The walk and talk is good, not a hair out of place. Everything is just excellently done, way above its price point, might lead you to believe. Got a really good working tool, along with the vintage aesthetic as well. Check them out. All right, next up, we've got new versions of the White River M1 Caper knife, which is basically their M1 backpacker, but with permanently attached, thicker, contoured handle scales. And this version has seen several upgrades versus older versions. One, MagnaCut steel. We've already talked about that, so I won't do that again. And really cool natural burlap on this version, but there are a handful of new versions of this with the MagnaCut steel that you can check out at the description. The linen micarta one, I think, is also really nice. But come on, the burlap is always very cool, and it feels so good in the hand as well. Not too bulky of a knife overall. Similarly to the Sparrow that I talked about there at the beginning. Actually, their overall length is about the same. You've got more handle, less blade on the White River, as opposed to more blade and only a 3-finger handle on the Sparrow. So take your pick on which is more important to you. The MagnaCut is certainly going to give you more edge retention than the Nitro V that we talked about before. It's a cool little knife, man. Flared tubes in the handle, so you could do lashing stuff if you wanted to, but that's securing it there. You've got a Kydex sheath with a slide lock to get the retention even tighter on that Kydex. You've got a simple belt loop on the back, but this is a good contender for conversion to pocket carry, I would say. You could easily put some aftermarket stuff on there. Hole pattern here, we'll check it out. It looks like large tech lock will work with these first 2 holes. Yep, sure will. I don't know why I hesitated there for a moment. So you've got tech lock options. You've got ulti clips would fit on there quite nicely if you wanted to carry things a little bit differently. Price on these about $195. It is more expensive than the standard M1s, especially the M1s a few years ago. But you are getting several upgrades along with it. Up to you to decide whether it's worth it to you, of course. I was going to put it down, but I'm going to talk about that drop point blade here a little bit. I didn't mention the blade length, because this is one of those tricky ones. Sharpened length, we're at like just a bit over 2 3/4, but depending on how your location measures blade length, we're almost 3.5 inches if you go tip to scale. It's one of those frustrating things. But the blade shape itself is great for pretty much everything. General purpose usage, pointy enough usage if you want to use this as a stabby implement. Hunting, caping, caper's in the name after all. That's just a great, generic, versatile blade shape. I like drop points. Have I mentioned that before?
Nope.
Thomas, you have not been listening. Let's check out another classic. I dare say it is a classic at this point. The DPx HEST F. This is the 4.0 version. Also upgraded to MagnaCut blade steel here, coming in at $275, made in Italy for this one right here. Just over 3-inch blade, about 3 1/8 or so, and this is kind of, embodying that folding survival knife ethos. You've got a thick blade stock there. I mean, I forget what exactly, that's about 3/16 of an inch, isn't it? Okay, 5/32 of an inch or thereabouts, we'll say. Yes. So plenty of durability there. You've got a frame lock backing things up in that regard. Good full length on the handle, at least for my slightly larger than average hands. I've got plenty, or got just enough length there for a very comfy grip. Pocket clip mounted from the tail. You've got the glass breaker tip here, but that is exchangeable for a smooth one if you'd rather. You could reverse this to the other side as well. And ball bearings in the pivot with flipping action. That is quite good. Still got the thumb studs though, if you prefer to open it that way. And then all the extra features that this knife has been kind of known for over time. You've got the cap lifter in the spine here that also works as a pocket deployer when you want it to. The jimping is actually 3 different sizes of wire stripper, and you've got a hex cutout for the lanyard hole at the back so you could drive stuff in a pinch if you needed to with your actual knife. Check them out now. Just one of several new versions of the HEST folder that have hit our site. Links below, as is usual for all of this stuff. All right, let's go to Kizer. Their Militaw design has been very, very popular. The first 2 versions of this knife sold out very, very quickly, or sold very quickly. So they have responded by making a bunch more new versions of it. And we've got new full size, a new mini Militaw, and a fixed blade to look at. Or the way I like to think of them is this. You've got the Militaw right here. You've got the Militaw right there. And you've got the Militaw, yeah, on the fixed blade. Cheesy enough for you? I don't care. Let's talk.
You've been waiting all day to do that, haven't you?
It makes me laugh, and sometimes that's all the justification I need to say something on camera. So I'm gonna say it, dang it. Let's take a look at this particular new version of the Militaw. Actually, let me look real quick. Let me see how many new versions we're talking about, because there were 2 up to this point. We've got 18 new versions, 20 whole versions of the Militaw on the site right now. So you do the math. I already did, but you know what I mean. This one right here is coming in at $70 with an Ultim inlay on black G10, 154 cm blade steel. But Nitro V is an option on some of these smaller versions on the minis. Let me just see. I think all the full-size ones, all the new full-size ones, nope, I'll take it back. There's S35VN is also an option for some of these new full-size versions. The length you get is plenty of handle length for your average or slightly larger than average size hands, and that's without even taking into account this area around the pivot where you could choke up and get an extra finger space when you need it. Definitely got the length you need there for heavier work. Blade length itself is, what is it, 3.36 inches long. Nice drop point shape, high flat grind. Not super thin, but not thick, not so thick that it's going to be a problem either. You're going to have good slicing action out of this knife for sure. You've got a liner lock. You've got a hole in the blade for deployment. You've also got a front flipper. Let's see if it will continue to be the bane of my existence. Front flippers in general, I mean. Yeah, this one's a little, I'm not too keen on this front flipper, but good thing you've got the thumb cut out, which works great at a reverse flick too.
Keeping that?
That's fine. It works great at a reverse flick, certainly, and then you could always open it deliberately with a standard thumb roll open. There you go. But if that's a little too big for you, it's not a huge blade, I would say, but it does offer a fairly substantial handle for it. So maybe you don't want that much handle in your pocket. That's where the mini Militaw or the Militaw comes in. I don't mean to be disparaging. It's just fun to me. There you go. Coming in at about $66 for this version. This is one of the wackier versions in the new options. There are much more subtle options than this, but I wanted to show some of the variety. So here you go. 2.82 inch blade, Nitro V on this one. Rainbow G10 inlays on the contoured red G10 handles. Let's check out the front flipper on this. Works a little better for me, actually. I don't know if it's the jimping or not, but I'm getting a better hold on it. Let's check out the reverse flick. Also quite nice. Still enough on the handle for a full 4-finger grip for me. So even though the blade is significantly shorter, I can still get a full gorilla grip on this knife when I need to. Slightly thinner blade stock than the full size, As you can see right there, the full specs on all of these, of course, will be on the website. Links in the description where you can check out all the nitty-gritty on those if you wish. And finally, the fixed blade. 2 versions of this right now. This is the fancier one right here, coming in at $157 with an S35 VN blade, 3.8-ish inches long. Again, nice drop point. Slightly thicker blade stock and not as high of a grind on this, going a little bit more for strength as opposed to all general purpose slicing utility for day-to-day work. And the handles are black aluminum with gold camo carbon inlays. And I think this is kind of a good, kind of well-rounded knife for like any type of general purpose thing. This is gonna work well. It would work well at outdoor stuff. Maybe this version doesn't have the aesthetics of an outdoor knife, but the cheaper version, I would say does. It's coming in at $68 with a satin finished Nitro V blade, black G10 handles, and natural micarta inlay. So it still has a hint of class, a hint of you know, gentlemanliness and you know, cool aesthetics. But it leans a little more, or would fit in more with you know, a pair of dirty hiking boots than something like this would. But you've got enough of a handle length there for my hands to fit quite nicely. You've got a little bit of a finger guard, which I always appreciate on something that could be used on a broad swath of different applications. Little bit of thumb ramp, which you don't have on the folders right there. Just lends itself really nicely to your saber grip right here. Yeah, general purpose utility, everyday stuff, potentially some tactical stuff, I would say, although I'm not tactically trained. I should always caveat that when I'm talking about tactical stuff. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words now. Why?
No, you're not.
It's good. Like, this is a good do everything small blade. It's got a length that you can take just about anywhere, and it's adaptable to smaller and slightly bigger tasks. It's not so small that, I mean, you're not gonna be able to chop with it, but you can do a lot with it. Kydex sheath, taco style, so it's nice and slim. Dots style slim attachment right there. So you've got versatility in options. Means you could put a tech lock on there if you want. But yeah, it's just a really nicely done package, I gotta say. I dig it. It's cool.
Told you it wasn't out of words.
I mean, the folders I've always thought were fine, but they never, like, you know, blew me up. I never thought they were like, ooh, gotta have it. Some of you disagree, obviously, because we sold out of a lot of them. But the fixed blade is really feeling nice to me. Actually, this is a nice detail here at the back. You've got the...
Called it.
Listen. You've got a lanyard hole here that echoes the shape of the opening hole in the blade on the folders. That's pretty cool. Some jimping here on the back, too, for both traction on the thumb and an inverted grip like so, or even some scraping or braiding type of things. I'm sorry, table. I didn't mean to do that. I like it. Can you tell?
Nope.
I like fixed blades. What can I say? Next up, we have the Matador from Suprlativ, coming in at $294 for this new version right here. Black PBD titanium handles and multi-canvas micarta inlays over top the frame lock right here. Blade, we've got M390 steel, so a lot of edge retention there. About 3.8 inches long, high saber, flat ground geometry there. Good flicking action with that octagonal thumb opener. You can't really call it a thumb disc. It's like the thumb octagon there for the mounted to the spine. Makes it ambidextrous, and yeah, it catches the thumb quite nicely. Let's try a reverse flick. I haven't tried that yet with this one. No problems whatsoever. A lot of knife here, but this kind of falls into that big easy category in that it's not too bulky, it's not too heavy. It folds nice and slim when carried in your pocket, so it's not going to take up a ton of width, allowing you to still use that pocket for other things as well. Milled pocket clip, as you can see there from the back. The frame lock, as mentioned earlier, is also there. Very nice. You've got pivot adjustability from the back as well. Simple plate on the front, keeping things nice and classy. Just the fasteners from the inlays are visible there. Very nicely done. Next up, we've got a new version of the Kershaw Bel Air, and it is a combo edge. Seth V made a joke to us earlier when we were talking about this. He's like, that's a surefire sign of that a knife has been successful, because in modern, today's modern enthusiast knife niche, combo edges aren't the most popular thing. So for them to commit to doing that, it must mean there's quite a market for this knife. And boy, is there. It comes in at $150, made in the USA, 3.1 inch blade, MagnaCut steel, great shape for all around utility, day-to-day use, nice and thin, very thin with a full flat grind. It is a slicing beast for sure, with that great performance blade steel as well. You've got aluminum handles, textured so it's not slippery. You've got a deep carry pocket clip, mounted truly deep carry, sticking out the back so you've got pretty much nothing visible from the outside unless you want it to be. And of course, the crossbar lock there, making this a fully ambidextrous knife because the clip is reversible too. Finger safe closing action, as you can see. Just all of it is put together in a very compelling package. The price and the materials have been spot on with this knife from day one, and now you can get it with these partial serrations. So if you want the extra shearing and tearing power that those bring to bear, especially on fibrous materials like rope or fabrics, canvas, that sort of thing, you've got an option for you. A genuinely new option for the combo edge crowd. Doesn't come along too often. So there you go, folks. Next up, let's keep the crossbar locks going. We've got a new Vosteed Raccoon coming in at $72 with a Nitro V blade, 3¼ inch long, drop point with a stone washed finish, and aluminum handles with a new milling pattern. This is a cool, I also call it seafoam green. So I'm going to. There you go.
Can't stop you.
I mean, you could cut this out if you wanted to, but you got bigger things to worry about, probably. The Raccoon's a cool knife. It's not really a Benchmade Bugout competitor. I have no idea why I'm talking about the Bugout, but some people have said that about it before, but it's got a completely different flavor to it. Like, one could say the Bel Air might be in the Bugout territory. It feels a bit more substantial, but this one has a thicker grip. It's not focused on being ultralight. It's just focused on being ultra utility driven. You've got enough length on the handle for a 4-finger grip for me, plus the addition of that chopped out ricasso area to get up. The sharpening choil there at the back of the blade continues that, so you've got enough there for a full grip. Even large sized hands would be able to get a full grip on this knife for sure. And you'll be ready to go, ready to work. Fully ambidextrous knife as well. You've got a reversible clip, not really deep carry. You've got a fair bit sticking out of the back, but for the front side to keep things nice and clean, you've got a filler plate and 2 flush mounted screws because they gave you an inset clip mounting position, meaning no real possibility at all of snags when you're going back into your pocket with that. Just a nice premium touch. And the action is good too. You've got that finger flicking, finger safe closing action. Thumb studs work well also. Definitely built to work. All right, I did mention the Bugout. I kind of point to it here. 2 new versions, new colors of the Bugout dropped earlier this week from Benchmade. We've got this rust orange Grivery version, and we've got the dark olive Grivery version. These come with a Desert Verde Cerakote finish, and they say these are inspired by kind of the overlanding trend, and I could see that. It also feels a little, you get your pumpkin spice Bugout here a little bit, I think. The price on these is interestingly different. They both have the Cerakote finish. They both have S30V blade steel in that same 3¼ inch drop point shape that the Benchmade Bugout is famous for. Both Grivery handles. The green version, the olive, is $171. The rust version here is $180.
It's because it's pumpkin spice.
Seasonal. Are these some of the seasonal releases? I don't think so. These are just standard additions, I believe, to the lineup.
Yeah, but you put pumpkin spice on anything. Add $1 or $2.
I heard there was a glass place down the way selling pumpkin spice windshields. Trying to get in on the action.
I need a pumpkin spice oil change now.
There you go. Would smell better, that's for sure. So here you go. Here is the Bugout. If you're unfamiliar with it, you're in a knife enthusiast circles, you've probably been living under a rock then. If you're new to knife enthusiasm, the Bugout got famous because it is super light, like 1.8 ounces, although the Cerakote here feels like it adds just a skosh to it. So it's very light, but it's got a full-sized handle and a full-size blade. Not a huge blade, not a large blade, but not a mini blade either. And that blade itself is very slicey. Thin blade stock, high flat grind, and it came out at a time where a lot of things were kind of overbuilt and chunky in the blade department. I mean, that HEST is a as a perfect, you know, contrast to that right here. And we've seen in years since the Bugout's introduction, a lot of manufacturers going to thinner blades. That's cool. They slice better. So there you go. You've got the crossbar lock. That certainly works just fine. You've got a deep carry pocket clip that is reversible. You've got thumb studs on both sides. A great knife for pretty much anyone, provided you don't want a premium feeling handle. The Grivery here is injection molded. It's strong enough, but it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna have the same feel as like a super tough thing. But there you go. Check them out. Also new from Benchmade today, in fact, is a seasonal release, a seasonal version of the Shootout in purple with purple accents, a brighter purple for the switch and the hoop there at the back, and purple for the pocket clip. This also feels very kind of seasonally appropriate for the month of October and spooky season, I would say.
It's an OTF for your ghost Pokemon.
Sure, why not? 337 and some change for this. You've got the dark purple Grivery for the handles. You've still got the same great crew wear blade steel right here. Thin blade stock, like the Bugout. It is the Shootout. It's part of the Out family. First you had the Bugout, then you had the Bailout, which is kind of a Tonto bladed, extended handled version of the Bugout, and this is kind of a OTF version of the Bailout. So it's definitely got the lineage, and it carries that through with that excellent slicing blade geometry on that Tonto blade as well. For those who care about it, it actually has a center positioned blade too. Most OTFs are a little bit, the blade comes out a little bit off center, not so on this one. So for those of you who like that, you got the option here. Very grippy on the handles as well, but it is also a handle that feels designed to be a handle. It's less rectangular and blocky than a lot of OTFs as well. It's really cool. Check them out. Seasonal release, so it's not going to be here forever. And last but not least, another injection molded handle option with the Spyderco Native Chief Lightweight. 191 and some change. You've got a just over 4-inch blade with MagnaCut steel and full serration. So it's another option for you serration freaks out there. I say that with all due respect. Let it be clear.
Of course.
Only. And I actually do. So. But it's part of the Salt series, so not only are they using a steel here like MagnaCut that can be made to be, with the right heat treat, pretty close to as rust-proof as you can get. Anything, of course, can rust under the worst of circumstances, but it's going to take a lot for this to patina. It's just going to clean up quite nicely. And everything inside the knife is likewise designed to be as rust-proof as possible. So it's pretty much the de facto answer for anyone who wants something working around the water in wet environments. Very hard to not recommend a Salt series knife, such as this version of the Native Chief. You've got the injection molded handles with bidirectional texturing, so you've got plenty of grip in every direction, unlikely to lose your grip on the knife, and it's got controls and everything set up to cater to pretty much anyone's usage as well. Right or left-handers will have no problem opening that blade thanks to the hole cutout. You've got a 4-position pocket clip, so you can carry it tip up or down on the left or right, and the mid-mounted backlock is, of course, a perfectly symmetrical experience whether you are a right or left-handed individual. But a ton of blade to work with right there. The serrations, of course, fantastic on rope and stuff like that, which for certain maritime applications is going to be exceedingly helpful. Plenty of handle length there as well, even if you're wearing bulky gloves. In the standard position, I've got an extra half finger's worth of length there, so even with bulky gloves, I wouldn't be coming off of the end of that handle, I don't think. And you've got the signature Spyderco finger choil with which to choke up and give you even more length should you need it. There you go. Well, that's all we have for today, folks. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. And to get your hands on any of these knives, links in the description will, of course, take you to KnifeCenter.com. While you're there, of course, don't forget about our long-running knife rewards program, because the least thing we can do when you buy one of our knives today is, say it again with me, Thomas, give you some free money to spend on the next one. That is what happens, though. Thanks for sticking around. I am David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. That's Thomas behind the camera, and we are signing off. See you next time.